So today I brought out with me the Nikon F6 and I've got rolls of Orwo UN54 that I'm going to be putting inside this camera. I've also brought out the pinhole camera because I want to take some photographs of the National Maritime Museum. The pillars there are absolutely beautiful, amazing building, I believe built by Sir Christopher Wren, and inside that pinhole I've got this Acros 100. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Do you remember a while back I made a video of where I grew up in southeast London, just taking photographs of things I remember as a kid before it's all ripped apart. I did the same again. I went to a place called Greenwich, which is in southeast London, and you know, this time when I got a little bit older I was able to get on the bus from my hometown about 10 minutes up the road to Greenwich, and me and my mates used to run riot. And there's so many memories there. So I was up that way anyway, visiting family, and I thought I'd spend this particular day to go and take my photographs. So not only is there rain, not only am I wet, there's building works everywhere. I'm trying to take pictures. Unbelievable. I'll have to keep going. I'm here now, so I'll have to make the best of it, you know. And to my disappointment, when I got to Greenwich and started to take photographs and make a vlog, the heavens opened up and it rained, which isn't that great because Greenwich is quite a busy place. It's a brilliant place for street photography, lots of hustle and bustle going on. But of course, when it rains, it was a Friday as well, no one came out. It was just pretty much empty. So I was a little bit disheartened as soon as I got the camera out and started to take photographs. I didn't really read the weather forecast, and even if I did, it wouldn't matter because this is the only day I could come up here and come up to see my family. But over there you can see the City of London in the background. It looks pretty hazy. Unfortunately, this rotten old cloud has just come in. Right pain in the arse that is. But I've got a brolly anyway, but it's not going to stop me. I'm going to continue to take my photographs even if it's in the rain. Because I've only got this chance to do it before I head off back home, back to Portsmouth and on the Isle of Wight. But as I always say, it is what it is. So, you know, I couldn't do much about the weather. So I just thought, well, there's one or two options. Either go home, which was not really an option because I wasn't at home, or just carry on and see what I got. So I kind of changed my mind frame, my mindset, and thought to myself, okay, it's going to rain. I know what's happening. Let's see if I can take some nice rainy pictures of Greenwich, still going around the nostalgic places that I remember. Back in the 70s and 80s, we used to have so much fun running right all around this place, and nowadays it's just very busy, very built up. So it'd just be interesting to run around and get some photographs with the gear that I just showed you. Over there is the City of London. When I was a kid, that wasn't even seen. That wasn't even built, sorry, when I was a kid, so that was just land as far as the eye could see. A fantastic place to come as a kid and play around. We used to come here on school trips as well, which was quite boring because you couldn't do what you wanted to do. So, you know, outside of school, we just used to come up here on the bus and run riot. So what I'm going to try and get in this video, I'll take you down into the village where all the old shops are, the old marketplaces where they do all the food stalls. There's also a nice print shop that's, when I was a kid, I used to love looking at this guy's prints. Obviously it's changed hands, but I believe the stall is still there. And also the Cutty Sark, which is an old tea clipper ship that's been there since God knows when, the 60s I think. And all this place is very nostalgic to me when I was a kid, so it's great for me to come here today and take home some pictures and maybe get some prints in the darkroom of my childhood memories, you know. And I guess also on the forefront of my mind is not only the photography but making a vlog for you guys as well. So there I am running around with a GoPro, not on a tripod. I didn't want to use a tripod, I just wanted to use it handheld on a monopod and try and take me pictures at the same time, which was starting to get a little bit tedious because the rain was falling down. It was all over the GoPro. I had to keep wiping the GoPro lens, then I had to keep wiping my camera lens to take me shots. It all just started to go a little bit Pete Tong on me. I wasn't getting infuriated, I wasn't getting angry, I was just trying to change my mindset to something that I would enjoy. This is Greenwich Park where I am at the moment. In the summertime this place is heaving, you know, with people, tourists, just chilling out and having a good time, you know, and having a little bit of football, taking the dogs for a walk, and what other people get up to in the parks. But it really is a fantastic place to come if you're in London or southeast London. And it just wasn't going to be. The first mistake I'd noticed, I had the GoPro settings non-stabilised, so everything was kind of shaking around in the background. It was a little while after I realised that and changed the setting and thought, okay, we'll carry on. And then I realised I'd taken the wrong film. I took out Orwo 100 speed film with me, and although it was quite a dull day, I thought, okay, I can get around this. I can push it 2 stops to 400. I've had decent results with that before, developing in Thornton's 2 bath which I've had nice results with. So that was not really a problem. So at least I can get a little bit more speed out of the camera. And it's right close to the River Thames as well. And that's one of the other reasons we used to come here as kids, you know, just so we could muck about and skim stones on the river. Didn't live nowhere near the sea back then. London's nowhere near a sea. So our local sea was the Thames. We used to just come and muck about on it. Just kids' adventures, you know. So it'd be good to get photographs to get these back. Get back home with me, you know, taking the darkroom. I'll see what we get. As I got a little bit older as well, kind of, you know, 17, 18, 19, we used to come down here and do pub crawls, go in all the pubs. We used to have a right laugh. This is one of them here called the King's Arms. We used to come in here on the weekend as well as all the other pubs. A lot of these old telephone boxes got no phones in them anymore. They just stand here because they're a piece of London, you know, the red telephone box. Everyone's got mobiles, haven't they? But worth getting a picture. And I even went and bought a nice frame recently, and I thought I'm going to put one of those pictures of Greenwich inside this frame, which I'll be doing in the darkroom. But first of all, obviously I need to take a decent photograph of something that I remember, something nostalgic to me, that would work and sit in that frame proudly in my home. But I guess it goes back to all of us photographers. You know, we have our good days and we have our bad days, but on this day I felt like it was going to be a bad day. And I suppose it's pretty ideal in the rain today as well, because all the reflections and stuff, you know, if it didn't rain then it would just be dry and normal. As it's raining, not many people take photographs in the rain. It can look quite nice, like this little street down here. So we're just coming into Greenwich Market. Used to hang about here quite a lot as a kid. Some of the stores are still there. I'll see if I can find a print man who makes the prints. Brilliant photographs. I can't find the geezer that does the prints. He makes me fascinated. I've come here last year actually, and the guy was here with his prints. The same stall as when I was a kid, but it had been taken over by his family. Last time I spoke to him, he said they were digital prints. He doesn't shoot film, but I can't find him. What a shame. Looking forward to showing you guys his work. I'll put a link on the description to his work. You guys can see his street art. But I can't see him anywhere. Oh, look at these things. So I kind of knew that although it was raining, I could get around some streets and get some nice reflection shots of London in the rain. Unfortunately, there wasn't hardly any people about. I was quite looking forward to seeing, you know, people hustling and bustling through the rain with umbrellas and stuff, but people just didn't decide to come out. So there wasn't many people out on the streets when I was taking my photographs. But I carried on around the Greenwich village. And behind me there you can see that's the Cutty Sark, a tea clipper. That ship has been dry docked at Greenwich for, I don't know, since the 60s I think. I just remember as a little kid coming around. Before it burnt down in 2007 there was a massive fire, and then they built all this stuff around it. But before that you could actually go right down to the hull of the ship and run around, you know, and play. Used to charge to, they probably still do, to go inside. I only been in there once, but most of the time we just run around and play around this ship. Always amazed me, and I had tears in my eyes when this burnt down in 2007. I'll never forget that. So right over in the distance there is the Shard, which is London Bridge, and as we come across through East London into the Docklands. So that's East London, this is South East London. And this is the River Thames that we used to play in when we was kids. We used to run right all around there, all around the sandbanks, all down here. I actually fell in this once off of a jetty back up that other end when I was about 8 years old. Quite a scary moment, but I had a lot of people around me that fished me out and I lost a trainer. But yeah, there's the River Thames there. And if you want to get over the other side of the river, you have to use this foot tunnel. I'll take you down there. This is so old. What's the date on it? 1902 it was opened. Used to have a lift. I don't think the lift works anymore. No, the lift don't work. We have to walk down these stairs. I actually want to get a pinhole shot down here. It'd be quite nice. So I'm going to load the Acros into the pinhole and get a photograph down here. I hope you enjoy it, guys. Who are enjoying this vlog. I'm not boring you too much. It's not easy, you know, all the time trying to keep a channel running and vlogging about photography, because at the end of the day, photography is photography, be it film, digital or phone. The going down bit is the easiest, the going back up is the hard work. God blimey, look at all these old tiles, look, proper ceramic tiles. And there's the foot tunnel there. As a kid we used to go skateboarding down here like a nutcases, screaming and shouting. You can actually get the echoes. I'm not going to do it because I'll embarrass myself. I might do it, I don't know. And most of London these days is all getting modern and glitzy and glassy, and all these new buildings are coming up and the old buildings are being ripped apart. I love walking around the back streets so I can just find all the old parts of London before it does get eventually completely ripped apart, and take photographs. So I went off on the back streets around Greenwich and managed to find a few streets that I could take some photographs of, but still nothing was floating my boat. Even though I was taking photographs, in my mind I'm just thinking, I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, and I just had this complete mental block in my head of, I'm just not enjoying myself, and I wasn't. And maybe that comes across in the video, but I just wasn't enjoying my photography down there. Maybe it was because of the weather, maybe because I had the wrong film, maybe because there wasn't any people out and about like I was expecting, maybe because I was wet as well. Call me nostalgic or what, but I love London, but when you come here it's all so modernised now and gleaming and glitzy and glassy and shimmery, you know. I like the old London, like all these old brick walls, all the old buildings that have now been knocked down, all the old docks that have been knocked down and made way for posh apartments and so on. But you can still find it if you walk around the back alleys, all the old cobbles. This is the Wren building I was talking about, so I've managed to get here. Let's see if I can get a nice pinhole shot. I'm looking at right there. See how wide and how much of that I can get in on the pinhole camera. So I've just took a few shots on pinhole, but I can't get really what I wanted. There's all building works going on behind me. So not only is there rain, not only am I wet, there's building works everywhere. I'm trying to take pictures. Unbelievable. Oh well, I'm going to have a pint in the pub. So it's been an absolute nightmare. I haven't wasted my time. I've taken pictures. I've enjoyed walking around, but not really what I wanted to give you guys. So I've come in the Gypsy Moth for a pint. I've got a pint of tribute, Pall Mall, Cornish Pall Mall. Any Cornwall followers out there? I'm going to nick this and spend another hour walking around getting some. Oh, that's really nice. Spend another hour, get a few more photographs. Hopefully, if the rain does stop, I'll be able to get a few more aerial shots. But do you know what? I might just let the lens get wet. And not too wet, you know, but just some drops on it, and see how they come out. We all know what's going to happen. I want to get little tiny blops on the prints, but it could tell a story of a wet day. I think that's the only thing I can do. Other than that, just drink my pint, take a few more photographs, and go home. Oh, that's terrific. A bit of pie and mash and liquor. Peter Elgard, love this. Say Pete, what do you reckon? There's me pie, there's me mash, there's me liquor. And it's unusual for me to go on a shoot and not develop when I get back. And when I got back home onto the Isle of Wight, the film stayed in the bag until the next day. That's unusual. Normally I'm straight and getting developed and excited about seeing what I've got. I didn't. I did this the next day later on in the afternoon and developed my photographs. So there's kind of this mental energy going on that tells me I'm not really looking forward to seeing these photographs. And I think I was pretty much right, because when I developed the photographs, the Orwo 100 film, which I pushed to 400, I put those on under the DSLR and scanned those. And they came out okay, but I wasn't over thrilled with them. Even with the pinhole shots, when I developed those as well in 510 Pyro, I wasn't over thrilled with those either. And it kind of, I look at those pictures and look at the day and think, oh, my whole heart wasn't in it, which is unusual for me. But it's no big deal, because it's something I can look forward to again. You know, I'll just plan another day when it's a little bit better, a little bit brighter, maybe on a weekend as well. This was on a Friday, so maybe a Saturday or a Sunday when people aren't at work and the place is filled up with more people and a bit more hustle and bustle going on, especially around that market. That market is usually really heaving and usually busy. And I was a little bit disappointed that the guy wasn't there that was selling those prints that I like to look at and chat to. So that was my little excursion around Greenwich, trying to be a bit nostalgic and getting some nice shots. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be this time for me, so I'm sorry guys that I couldn't bring to you a decent vlog and a decent set of photographs to show. But hey-oh, maybe next time I'll get the shots that I want, and there will be a next time. I'll certainly go back there, and you know, one's not to give up. It's certainly something that I haven't missed. I can always go back and do it again, and that's what I intend to do. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time.